Okay, I'm going to keep moving along here and go ahead and explain putting the straps on. Here's the backpack. This is still pinned at the bottom. It's now right side out with the flap stitched, a rope for a drawstring, and remember you only need a simple lucet and some yarn to make a rope. So that works fine. You may want to possibly add a few extra belt loops depending on how closed you need your backpack. The alternative is to sew Velcro to the back and Velcro to the front, which you might have to do by hand over this. If you use Velcro, I would do a patch here and a patch there instead of in the center. So hook side there, loop side here, and the same on this side. But a rope works fine. So that's what the backpack looks like. Now we are going to do simple straps. You have 4 pieces of fabric that are cut for the straps. And the first thing you need to do is sew 2 pieces together lengthwise, twice, so that you end up with 2 long, skinny straps. You want to press your seam open. That's where I stitch the 2 pieces together on this one. Press your seam open so it lies flat, and then press it in half so that you have 2 long, skinny straps. Now, at this point, if you want non-adjustable straps, like maybe you're making a backpack for a child and you don't want them to have to fiddle with D-rings or any of that stuff. In that case, measure the length of the strap by pinning it on the back. Oops. We're going to put the straps right under that belt loop. So you see how I have this. You want to pin it there, and then depending on the length you need, you're going to pin it here, but you really need to get it through these 2 pieces of fabric to the inside so that it's caught in the sewing. Now, I'll explain in a minute why this is still open like that. So, a non-adjustable strap, that's going to be how you place the straps. Go either just inside of a belt loop or just under a belt loop. Fold under about 1.5 inches and stitch it. You'll be stitching across here. So again, you'll be sewing in a tube. You'll have to fit all of this under the needle, and you just want to sew about 3 times across here so that you make sure that you catch the whole strap. Now, for an adjustable strap, you're going to do the exact same thing with the upper half of the strap, but you're going to take, this is about 6 inches of the lower strap, and you're going to cut them here. And then this will be the bottom part that gets fit through the bottom part of the backpack. So you're going to have to, you want the weight balanced. So just eyeball it and figure you want 1 here and 1 here. You need to stick your finger through, maybe stick a piece of chalk through and make a mark on the inside like that, so that you know where your strap has to come through. On the adjustable straps, you're going to, in a moment, cut this. These are the 2 D-rings. You keep them together and you're going to fold. We're making simple straps this time. So you put your D-rings through one end of your 6-inch strap and you stitch across there 3 times to make it nice and strong, and putting that sewn part on the inside of the back of the backpack like that. this 6-inch piece is what's going to go through here. And then what's left over is your adjustable strap. And in case you don't know about D-rings, let me put this down so I can do it with 2 hands. So let's pretend this is sewn. And that's at the bottom of the backpack. Then you take your other piece of strap, which the other end is sewn at the top of the bag, bring it through both D-rings, and then through the bottom D-ring. And that's how you use a D-ring as a strap. So, I think you have the overview. Now, the reason I don't have the straps finished, I'm going to make them adjustable. And I wanted to show you all of that before I did it, simply in case you want to make them non-adjustable. But the reason I'm making very simple straps, so I've got my 2 pieces sewn together, I've got my seam allowance pressed open, I've got them folded in half, and for this backpack, I am now just going to go down the long edge. I'm going to stitch down the long edge and make myself 2 straps. I'm going to use less than a 5/8 inch seam allowance, probably a 1/4 inch. But you see how, I'm fairly casual about this when I know what I'm doing. And so my edges are a little uneven in the pressing. I'm going to make sure that I catch both edges a 1/4 inch in. And that's going to leave a frayed edge. Another way to do it, if you want to cut them a little wider and pad them, is to do everything except fold them in half, and then turn the edges in, pad them, and then stitch them. But you'll have to cut them wider to do that. These were 2 1/4, I think. I'm making extremely simple straps. There are, nicer ways to make a finished strap. So you would, like I said, cut it wider, fold the edges in, pad it if you want, and then fold it in half. But what I'm going to do right now for this backpack is to cut my 6-inch length. I'm going to fold one edge over and put the D-rings on it. I'm going to then fit the bottom part through the bottom area that I have pinned, and then I am simply going to attach this at the top. That's after I go ahead and stitch the long edge. So that's it. That's how you finish a backpack. You want to make sure the weight is balanced. I will probably make an 11th video to show the completely finished thing, but that's all you need to do to attach the straps.